Select a character.
Hello everyone, this is Ultimate Number and welcome back for more Sonic Adventure. In the last part we did Sonic's B missions, and in this part we're gonna go on to Tails' B missions.
Here I come, Sonic!
Of course, doing the usual stuff first, talk to everybody, and then I'll do the stuff. For Tails though, I do have a special thing planned as soon as I do talk to everybody though. So I hope you all might enjoy what I'm about to do. Of course, talking to everybody because they've updated their text since you've destroyed the Egg Walker. I'm not going to go in there yet. I'm going to go in somewhat of a speedrun-ish route here. Now, right here, park's open now. You can go on in if you got the cart pass. Anyone can go in Twinkle Circuit, if I've not mentioned it before, only after you've beaten their story. Of course, the card is always right here. I could go into Twinkle Circuit right now, but I'm going to save that for the sub-game section. I will do it in the adventure field. Where else? Because I think that's the only way to unlock it. You can't just go to trial mode and expect it to exist. So yeah. Subjects for this time. I'm still playing Final Fantasy II, surely and dang it, curse my perfectionism. Like, jeez. In case you're not aware, my definition of perfectionist is basically completionist, but to you it's true 100%, but to me it's perfect game. Most definable in RPGs, really, because they really don't have 100% defined, so you can't really call it true 100%. And yeah. And oh boy, Final Fantasy II. And Final Fantasy I for that matter, but I'll get to that later. Final Fantasy II, at least in Dawn of Souls, it's like, you know, in Final Fantasy II, you have like a limited inventory. You can only, in the NES, you can only hold 32 items total. In Origins, you can only hold 64 items total. Well, in your like bag anyway. Each character can hold up to 2 items on their own, not including weapons. So you got that extra inventory. And then Dawn of Souls, they made it so that you can carry 9 out of every single item in the game. I like that very much, and at the same time I hate it. Because it leaves me open to, like, grind up 99 of every single item in the game. And that's what gets and that's why I curse my perfectionism. What really sucks is that some items you can only get by grinding from enemies. It's a 1 in 8 chance to get everything, really. Okay, before I move on, subject aside, I want to show off a little rather well-known glitch. You can actually get Tails into Emerald Coast if you go into this corner till he can't move anymore. So from here, you want to fly, don't hold any direction, and as soon as he comes up, and not do that, as soon as he comes up, move around the building, and voila. See? We're in Emerald Coast now. And yeah, I do have 4 lives. I will get back up to the normal amount. Partially from here, though. I'm actually going to play this stage, but unfortunately it will not give you an emblem for it, as we'll find out. Also, the reason I did not do this in story mode is because it'll activate trial mode glitch, which I will not bother explaining. Or actually, maybe I will explain it. Trial mode glitch is basically a glitch where you either enter the wrong level or a way later level than you're supposed to enter. Like, for example, you enter stage 5 when you're supposed to enter stage 2. And basically, how this glitch functions is like, what this means is like, basically, I'll explain how trial mode works, first of all. Stage 1 makes it so trial mode doesn't screw up. Stage 2 unlocks trial mode. And the last stage unlocks all the slots for the character. And basically, if you enter stage 5, the last stage, as stage 2, you unlock all the slots. And I don't know how this would work, but this allows you to basically play the stages in reverse order. I don't know why. In addition to this, you can also use it to, like, transport characters into stages they're not supposed to go into, based on the last stage you touched, I think. Like, for example, if the last stage you went to is Knuckles' Skydeck, and you did trial mode glitch for Gamma, and entered a stage you're not supposed to go in yet, you actually go into Skydeck. Not the best way to explain it, really. I'm sure there's others who can explain it better than I can. Also, trying to get this one up here is proving to be a challenge, especially since Tails will not fly up. I want to get this life now, just so I don't have to grind up the rings at the hotel later. Come on. There we go. Can't even home attack. So anyway, at the ending the first part of the stage, but however, as soon as I even go in here, yeah. Had I moved slower, I actually would have bounced on the spring, but even if I landed on the spring, it just kicks me out. It doesn't give me a result screen or anything, it just boots me out. So, yeah, can't really do that. Incidentally of lives, I should be at 10 lives right now, I think. Yeah, I got a notepad written on how many lives I should be getting. This shouldn't take long. Meanwhile, I'm here. This shouldn't take long at all. Continuing with Final Fantasy II. Yeah, certain enemy, like I said, only certain enemies can hold certain items. Like, say, for example, the Rune Axe, or the Poison Axe, stuff like that. Mainly just weapons that you are worthwhile grinding for. What really bugs me, though, is that these enemies only appear in dungeons that, once you clear them, you cannot ever go back to, ever. Because of this, instead of getting only one of every item, or like 4 or 8 of every item, because, you know, you can only have 4 people in the party, I'm actually trying to grind for 99 of every item. Yeah. It's gotta suck when there's like, not 1, but 8 different frickin' items you can only get in this one dungeon from enemies alone. Also going the wrong way. Oh, even more infuriating that these enemies hardly show up at all. Like, right now I'm at Palclamecia. I don't know how you pronounce it. You know, the castle of the Emperor. Not the final castle, that's Pandemonium. I'll talk to everyone here just because I'm here. Yeah, but Palclamecia. Like, there's 3 enemies I need to encounter, and they would be General, Black Knight, and Gatos, not, yeah. And the items I'm looking for in particular, From General, I'm trying to get Diamond Gloves, Diamond Shield, though I can just get that from Adamant Toys. Diamond Gloves, Diamond Shield, Dragon Armor, but I can get that from Dragons. Rune Axe, they will not frickin' drop this thing. It's a 1 in 8 chance. I killed 100 of these things and they still won't drop it. I only got 4 Rune Axes so far. And Spider Silk. You'd think you get that from spiders, but there's no spider enemies in Final Fantasy II. For some reason. I don't know why. From Black Knight, I'm trying to get Sunblade, even though you can totally get better swords like the Excalibur. And, what was it again? Also, I went the wrong way, but still. Yeah, Sunblade and, Yoichi's Bow, even though I can get that from King Behemoth. And from Gatos, I'm trying to get Ripper, you know, a knife weapon. I think it's the best knife weapon, actually. And Batchu's Wine, I think is how you pronounce it. It's one of the best items in the game. It's worth grinding for. It raises attack but lowers evasion because it's frickin' wine. Makes you drunk. So yeah, those are the items I'm grinding for. Like, I'm getting Batchu's Wine no problem, and I can also get him no problem just by playing a minigame. Getting the Ripper is a bit harder. For some reason, I'm getting more Diamond Gloves than I'm getting any more Diamond anything else. It's the Rune Axe, though, that's bothering me the most. I have like 20 of everything else I can get from General so far, and I've only got 4 Rune Axes. Like, come on, they're all equal chance, and they're all 1 in 8 chance of dropping them. Also, if this wasn't bad enough, the Generals can only appear in up to groups of 2. And the Black Knights can only appear up to groups of 2, but only specifically with stone golems. I really hate golems so much, but thankfully you can run away from stone golems. If it's any other golem, you can't run away. I don't know why. And Gatos, he appears fine. He can appear in up to groups of 3. He drops items relatively often, so I have no problem with fighting him. And speaking of being able to run away, boy do I have complaints about what you're able to run away from or not. It's like, there's only really 2 groups of enemies that you can't run away from in the castle. Those would be Death Flowers. Like, what makes them unrunawayable compared to stone golems? And manta rays with skulls, I think. Like, what makes those unrunawayable? I'm just gonna go back in here because that one guy may have despawned. Just checking. It's like, what makes those unrunawayable? What makes zombies unrunawayable? Just saying. You can run from Death Riders, but you can't run from a paralyzed land manta ray. Just like Final Fantasy 1, you can't run away from a tornado unless they're with a snake, then it's okay. That makes no sense. Enough rambling about that. I've pretty much rambled on about enough Final Fantasy 2 enough. Let's just start the races. We gotta collect 50 silver rings and win.
Come on, Tails!
Now, I'm gonna practice here for a challenge I'm thinking of with Tails. And the challenge for Tails I'm thinking of is don't fly unless I have to. I can jump, but I can't fly unless I absolutely have to. Then, yeah. not allowed to use the shortcut rings either, because that would put him in a flying state. I mean, we've seen the stage as Sonic before. You know, I'm really curious. Would Sonic, like, feel my torture here? Would he, like, die 18 times here before he finally progresses? Let's see if I can do the thing. Nope. Flying. We're flying. It's like, it's already long enough as is. I'm sorry. For some reason, I can't get his tails. I'm just gonna treat that loop as a death wall that I have to fly over. Because I'm pretty sure no one wants to see me die there 18 more times. I don't want to do it, and you don't want to see it. Also, that was a really close requirement. Like, I didn't need to tail whip that capsule. Gave me one ring anyway. Useless. That wasn't
too bad.
I've never actually heard what Tail says when you actually don't fulfill requirements. It's like, the only way you can hear it is through the 50 ring mission. That's the only way you can miss. Because otherwise you just hear Sonic taunting you, "I've got it!" Like, I'm really curious. I might put it up in post, maybe.
The train headed for Station Square will
maybe
be
not, I don't know.
soon.
Once again, I'm forgetting the stage order. Gotta remember, it's Windy Valley, Casinopolis, Ice Valley, Skydeck, and Speed Highway. Gotta remember. Remember, like I said, in Casinopolis, you cannot take the rich man, or no, you cannot take the poor man's route because it's a shortcut, therefore you can't take it. Also, why am I trying to hit that button? Like, what am I, a mailman?
Come on,
I don't know if I did it before, but I'll take the rich man's route and see how slow it is. Also, I totally flied there, but that doesn't bug me. Take the rich man's route because, yeah, we need 50 rings, so we might as well get like 500 rings. I totally went through that capsule. Did you see that? It does that sometimes.
You made it.
No, I didn't. The game just thinks I did. Already got 50 here, so no need to collect more. But I'm gonna collect more anyway because it's gonna increase my score in the right, in case anyone of you cares, even. Also, if you... I never actually pointed this out, did I? But the ring capsule placements are actually different. Like, I did notice it, but I never really talked about it. Like, it's interesting that some placements of rings and stuff are changed. I think that one up there wasn't even present here. Also, please. Also, can we get a good look at these... whatever these newspaper are? Like, what is that? What are they? Can I get a better look? Well, there's a better look, but it's all blurry anyway, so...
Hooray!
Analyze it while you can. That is the first time in my life I've ever been hit by a spike ball in the vents. Also, I am not going to have enough rings, so we're going to find out.
Hey, hey, hey!
We're going to find out together. Three shields here couldn't even give us more rings. Well, let's find out.
Yeah!
Says you win. No enemies, even though we hit him with a bomb.
Whew, I made it in time.
Good. Treats it as if you got an E rank in Sonic 2. That was not interesting at all. Like sure, he's made it, but wait, he didn't collect 50 silver rings. Therefore, he doesn't get the golden emblem.
Come on, Tails.
So this time, let's not actually fly
Hey, hey, hey.
and actually take the normal route. See how fast that is compared to it. I'm sure it's faster.
See you later, Tails.
No fair, I don't have the privilege of spin dash.
You made it.
I also don't have the privilege of jump dash. Apparently that's a technique. In case you don't know, jump dash is basically homing attack minus the homing. Like, that really has no need to have a different name. Hey, you're stealing the silver coins. You can't do that. You're a CPU.
All right, Tails.
You can't do that. Like, this is not two-player mode. I did not have joint venture enabled.
Come on.
I didn't have time to lose enabled either. Come on.
All right, Tails.
Sonic, were you humping the wall that whole time? What were you
Hey,
doing?
Tails.
Nope,
See you
screw it.
later,
Getting 2 more
Tails.
rings.
All right, Tails.
Also, totally right there.
You made it.
What are you even doing?
Hey, hey, hey.
Screw it.
Yeah!
It's just practice after all. I don't really need to do it. Like, no one needs to see me do it more than twice.
That wasn't too bad.
Yeah, I'd say that was actually... Taking the normal route is actually harder than taking the longer way around. Why? I don't know. It's just... Like, why do video games like to do that? If you take the quote-unquote harder / longer route, the game actually takes pity on you for going the wrong way. Whereas if you try to take the easy route, the game does everything it can to make it harder. Games always do that. Like, yeah. It only really ever happens as the LP curse. Like, that's the only ever really real time it ever happens. Okay, so I'm gonna hold Y and X as I'm climbing up the ladder. And let's see what we get. Holding I and L, which is Y and X. Let's see if we get a new snowboard for Tails, or if Sonic has one.
Come on, Tails.
He does. So it affects Sonic, but it doesn't affect Tails. Okay, so stay left, and then right. Or if we're going for Tails' perspective, stay left, stay right,
Hey, Tails.
and then middle. And that's the best way to get the rings around here.
See you later, Tails.
Although it's kind of hard to tell where is middle when you got an awkward camera angle.
Hey, hey, hey. Hey, Tails.
I wonder what would have happened if they actually developed like more unique missions and per character. Like here would be like, don't break any ice, or like break 100 chunks of ice, or for like Sonic it could be perform 5 successful ramp jumps. Going slow doesn't count. Like it has to be where the camera circles around. That'd be interesting. Ah, I just barely missed it. I'm sure if I had just one more unit of speed, I would have got the awesome jump. I wonder if there's a term for it. I know there's the term swag jump, where you jump at the triple ramp. Here, I think a good name would be speed jump,
You made it.
even though you're not really speeding when actually jumping off the ramp.
Come on.
Also, honestly, I think this version of Sonic is actually harder than the even faster Sonic. There we go, but I got the bump off the ramp, so that didn't really count. This mission really isn't really much harder than the normal mission because there is actually no way to get hurt, and some of the rings
That wasn't too
can't
bad.
really miss. You have to be really bad in order to not succeed this mission. It's just that easy. You gotta love it when they just have this requirement and no real way to fail even that. Like, it almost literally makes the mission the same thing. You race Sonic, and then you race Sonic again, and then you race Sonic a third time. Thank goodness you don't have to race him a fourth.
The train headed for Station Square will be departing
It's
soon.
Sky Deck. Unfortunately, I have to transform the deck, the entire carrier, in order to access Sky Deck. Can't do it the Knuckles way, because there's no race there. Also, in case you're wondering, if you do the trial mode glitch to try to access their version of Skydeck or their version of the stage, it doesn't work. Like, the game checks that you're accessing the stage, therefore it puts you there if you're this character. That's just how it works. But for Skydeck, it puts everyone where Knuckles usually ends up, because I guess the game is like, only if you're Sonic or Tails that you go to this part, otherwise you go here. Doesn't specifically check for Knuckles. Actually it does. It's like, if you're Knuckles, start here, otherwise everyone else starts here, because we originally planned that everyone's gonna have every single stage, but nah. I guess that's just how the game was built in general, just like how everyone was gonna have Windy Valley, but just doesn't. I'm guessing if you go to Windy Valley, you start where Sonic normally starts. That or where Gamma starts, because Gamma has more of the first part of Windy Valley than everyone else does. Yeah. I don't think there's, like, much documentation on the trial mode glitch, at least from what I've seen. I've never actually researched it. I only learned it from, like, a speedrunner who does 130 emblems. Excuse me. In 5 hours, 5 minutes. Awesome run. I really wish there was, like, a TAS of 130 emblems. Or TAS of 180 emblems in Sonic Adventure 2 battle. That would be awesome. I've seen a couple TASs of Sonic 2. Sonic Adventure 2. Like, oh boy. They, like, go faster than light and glitch through the stage in, like, 2 seconds. It's, like, crazy. I really should show a secret with Tails very soon, because it would also show Tails' speed and acceleration compared to Sonic's. It's like, I could do it, I could plug in a second controller and do it. I even binded the movement exactly the same as Player 1, so I would control both of them at the same time, although it wouldn't quite work.
Hey, hey, hey!
Like, I could show it for, like, the first 5 meters. Okay, good, I didn't get pushed through the spring. I guess that only happens in the Xbox version. Ports can be weird. Like, how do you even port? If porting is easy, how can you F up a simple thing? Like, do you not playtest? Make sure it works perfectly fine? Jeez. Whoa. Could do this legit. Or I could just do this. Yeah. You can just fly here. And Sonic warps for some reason.
Yeah!
Like, he's a cheater. How does he get around? Oh, he just speeds depending on who else is in front of him. It's like, no wonder Sonic can't catch Eggman, because in Eggman's perspective, Sonic is keeping up with him, but just barely, if he's far enough away from him. But in Sonic's perspective, he can speed up all he wants, he never catches Eggman. Like, other people's perspective can be weird sometimes. If that even makes sense. It sounds like it shouldn't make sense, but I hope it's understandable. What am I doing? What am I doing? I should be using the monorail. You know, the monorail. Awesome. Wow, I didn't need to use monorail. I could just transform the ship back into its original shape, because I forgot when you clear Skydeck, you just get warped here. I forgot about that. But whatever, we're already taking the monorail. Rail Canyon. Also, I swear, one of these signs says, like, despite being able to go to both places, one of them still says, it's out of order, sorry, Charlie. Like, despite you being able to go in anyway. I can't remember who it was. I could have sworn it was actually with Tails, but no, it's not. It just isn't. We could go to Speed Highway, or we can go to Speed Highway. Let's go to Speed Highway. Which one? That one. Oh, okay, I see, that one.
You think you can keep up with me?
You cheated. You started before the race even began.
He's caught up. Tails,
Of course.
wait for me. I've got you now, Tails.
Okay, tip. Stop flying when you don't need to. Otherwise disasters would happen. I was going to take the sick shortcut I did when showing what happens when you go to the Sonic section of this stage. But whatever, I need to collect rings, so I can't really do that. I'll just fly for speed. Tails can't make that, for the record, because he doesn't have enough speed. Like, he doesn't have the top speed as Sonic does, as you're clearly seeing here. Like, he just doesn't. He can accelerate faster, he just doesn't match the top speed. Also, Tails, I am holding every direction except where you're going. Stop it.
Goodbye, Tails.
Where'd you come from? Can I hit you? No, but you can hit me. That's not fair. That's not fair.
What?
Like, I should be able to have the same fly ability as you. Like, since you cheat like that.
Me.
I can defeat him so good. Okay, here's where you absolutely need to fly. And Eggman goes that way, where I go these way.
Fox.
Best quote. Also, what's down there? Let's find out.
I've got you now, Tails.
Just more rings. I guess useful if you're trying to get the shield. If you're trying to go for all rings.
What? He's caught up.
I like this race. We're neck and neck the whole time, basically.
Tails, wait for me.
So we can hear more of the glorious Eggman quotes.
He's caught up.
Caught up many years ago. Since then, I've been neck and neck. Nose to nose. Hair to hair, even though you're bald. I'll go this way since we never really showed it. Arrow of rings. But is there only 8 rings? No. Leave me alone. I know you're the police. I know you're faster than me, but still. Go away. Here, there's just no way you can't make it without flying, but I'm gonna test what it's like without the loops at least. Oh boy, I'm not liking this. I could just cheese it with diagonal boosts, but let's test the platforming. Ooh, a rocket. What does this lead to? It leads to up there, so you can take this ring. What is this? Also, there's a replica of the building that you can take as a shortcut to Sonic that also leads to a 1-up. I'm glad I showed this, like, this is pretty much matching, like, the difficulties of Yoshi's Island DS Super Hard Acrobatics levels. Like, jeez.
That wasn't too bad.
I like Yoshi's Island DS for the record, only because it's challenging. Really, it's the extra levels that can F off. Really. I've never really 100%'d the game without a certain someone's help, which I thank deeply for. I could unlock Twinkle Park, but I'm afraid it won't save when I select quit or actually do Twinkle Circuit. So I'm actually not going to do that. I'll do it when I actually do the sub-games. So, next time in Sonic Adventure, we shall do the next character's B missions. And who else could it be? All of you should know, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
Select a character.
We're gonna be doing Knuckles' B missions in the next part, alright? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.